From Tally to Cali,
It's time
to wake up.
Wake up! Wake up!
Warchant.com is your ultimate Seminole sports source.
And this is Wake Up Warchant, presented by Vitamin Energy.
The vitamins.
The energy.
Now here's Warchant.com's Aslan Hajavandi
And Corey Clark.
Wake up! It's Wake Up Warchant presented by Vitamin Energy. Coming up on today's show, a slew of interviews from ACC kickoff getting you ready for Florida State kicking off preseason practice this morning. Wake Up Warchant presented by Vitamin Energy, vitaminenergy.com, promo code WarchantBOGO. Buy one, get one free. Quick story. So drove up to Charlotte on Sunday, woke up early Sunday, grabbed the rental car, grabbed Ira, drove up to Charlotte. Grinded all day Monday, woke up early-ish, grinded from like 10 p.m. to 7 or 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Drove down to Macon, stayed the night Monday, woke up Tuesday, hopped in the car, finished things out, came back to Tallahassee. Got to do stuff around the house. Also got to get back to the gym. I missed the day. I missed Monday. Did not like that. I'm like, how am I going to do this? I'm exhausted. I've got practice on Wednesday. And funny thing is when you're Aslan Hajavandi or Corey Clark, your whole house is just covered and littered with delicious vitamin energy. It's always within an arm's reach. Duffel bags, gym bags, console of your car, coffee table. It's always there. I'm like, oh, there it is, staring right at me. 260 milligrams of all-natural caffeine, Aslan. Would you like that? Yeah, I would. Did it, y'all. Made it to the gym. Had to do 30 reps of deadlifts. So it's 15 minutes every 30 seconds, do a rep. So it's like 225, do a rep. 30-second rest. Do another rep. Couldn't have done it without Vitamin Energy. Go to vitaminenergy.com. Use the promo code WarchantBOGO, WarchantBOGO. Buy one, get one free. You'll have a bunch of bottles around your house. You can use them all the time. Warchant.com, the ultimate Seminole sports source. FSU1 promo code. 2 months, $1. Practice starts today. Probably right now as you're listening to this, they're probably practicing. There's probably content up on our Twitter page of guys jogging into practice, probably around like 8:30 in the morning or so. So go check that out. Corey will be with us live at 7 p.m. later today. Join us. That'll be fun. I'm just kind of doing the show as a stopgap, some might say, a bridge to get us to preseason practice, which starts this morning at 9 o'clock. We both traveled, so it was like, man, what are we going to do? We're not going to do a show, but this is kind of a show. So we had all these interviews from ACC kickoff, so that's going to be today's show. Darius Washington, Patrick Payton, Joshua Farmer, as well as Elijah Roberts, a defensive end from SMU, who was actually a Miami Hurricane for like 3 years and did like pretty much nothing there, and then had 10 sacks, was 17th in the country in sacks last year at SMU, as well as Haynes King, who is the starting quarterback for Georgia Tech that Florida State will be facing week 0 in Dublin, Ireland. Fun fact that I did not know of before recording with Haynes, apparently Mike Norvell offered him when he was at Memphis, like going into his junior year, which coincidentally was the year that Haynes King led the Longview Lobos to a state championship. It was pretty epic. We talked about it a little bit. He's pretty shy, though. I don't know why. I'd brag about it all the time. Nonetheless, all the Florida State players are interviewed by Corey. That way you have a little bit of differing voices, so it's not just like me the whole time today. Also, we only got like 8 minutes with the guys, so it was better off just to let Corey run the show as opposed to us just pinballing questions like he goes a question, I'll go a question, I'll go a question, I'll go a question. So nonetheless, look in the show notes as always. We're the People's Podcast. We care about you and your time. So if you want to jump around, look in the show notes, item description, whatever it's called, and you should see the timestamp. That'll get you to the general vicinity of the show where we talk to said player. With that said, let's go alphabetical order, and we'll do all the Florida State guys first. Joshua Farmer, big human being, him and Corey Clark talking shop.
Is it Josh or Joshua?
Either one.
You don't prefer one or the other?
Joshua.
How much you bench?
435.
So when you got here, when you got to Florida State, what were you benching?
Like 280, 275. No.
So I guess I'm genuinely curious because obviously one of your greatest attributes is your strength. But if you're benching 280 as a high school senior, but you're still strong, like, are they telling you where they want you to be by the time you're a junior or senior? Like,
yeah.
What are those conversations like with Coach Storms?
Coach Storms told me I was going to be 310 pounds. When I got here, I was 254. And I'm like,
you were 254?
Yeah, 254.
Were you a linebacker?
I didn't play defensive line until my senior year of high school.
Oh, okay, all right.
I played running back and linebacker.
Oh, okay.
So, Coach Storms, when he seen me bench, my form was all messed up and everything. He just told me, once you get your form right, you're going to be a 400-pound bencher. And And he told me I was going to be 310. And at the time, I wanted to be a defensive end. And I was like, no way. And once I put on the weight, I seen it.
So are you that where you are now, about 310? Or?
Yeah, I'm 310, 308, 309.
As a person that was probably, I'm guessing, 220, 225, 230 for a lot of high school.
Oh, yeah.
Are you worried, like, what am I going to look like at that? Like, literally, what am I going to look like at that weight? Not how am I going to play. What am I going to look like in clothes? What am I going to look like in a suit?
I mean, I can't fit none of my stuff from high school,
Sure.
even my first year of college, because 67 pounds, that's a whole new human,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And, I just trusted Coach Storms, and we did it the right way. I didn't eat the bad foods and crazy things. Sometimes I enjoy myself, I go eat a burger or something like that. But for the most part, I try to eat lean meats and things like that, and just trust Coach Storms' process because he's done it for a long time. So
And when did you start feeling like, man, I am pushing these people around? Like you're dealing with some big boys, obviously, especially a defensive tackle. When do you start feeling confident in the work you're doing in the weight room? You're seeing it pay off. Is it 22?
Actually, my
is it
freshman year, because
okay.
my first spring I was like 265, and everybody else was, they was grown and everything, and I was like, I had my freshman moments where they moved me around, but then I also moved them around a lot of the times, and I was like, well, once I put on this weight, it's over with.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take over the game.
When you're dealing with a double team, can you take the normal person that doesn't deal with double teams? You have 600 pounds of people, a human being trying to hold you. What is that like, and how do you fight through something like that?
Actually, if you're a D lineman or a good D line coach will tell you this: you don't play a double like a double. It ain't actually a double. You try to beat one person, and once you get them on different levels, they can't double you. You get what I'm saying? Because he'll be behind you if you knock the first person.
They're
off.
Not a brick wall.
Now if you get them on the same level and you come out the ball, you jizz out the ball, they're gonna work you out the ball. You got to knock one of them back first and try to get them on different levels.
So you played high school with Daryl
Yes,
Jackson. You mentioned in the earlier press availability that y'all had 8 shutouts. 7 your senior year. When did you first meet him? How long have y'all been playing football together?
The end of my 10th grade year, I met him, and started over some gloves. I gave him some gloves, and we've been best friends ever since.
So what is it going to be like? Because last year it was all BS, by the way. He should have been on the team last year. It was, I know he was on the team. He should have been able to play. It was ridiculous that he wasn't. But now that he's here and you do get to play beside him for 1 year, what is that going to mean? What is that going to be like?
It's going to be surreal, man. We just stay healthy and just pray to God and stay blessed. And everything we want is right in front of us. All you got to do is work. Is there a part of his game you wish you had? Nah, I'm pretty grateful for what I got.
Yeah, you're pretty good too, right?
Everything happened for a reason. God can't give you everything, right?
Right, sure.
If I was 6'6", 330 pounds, it'd probably it'd be crazy.
You'd be with the Vikings right now. What do you? What do you admire about his game, or just him as a person?
Just how genuine he is, great person, great teammate, and just how far he's came too.
How did he stay? Like upbeat last year, being able to practice and not play, especially watching what you guys were doing?
Just be around us, be around me. When I made a play and I had a big game, I tell him your time coming. Just stay patient, stay grounded. We're gonna eat together next year. And
then this year, so obviously we all know, and this will be the last question. We know you lost some really good talent from last year's defensive front, but Coach Norvell's mentioned a couple times he thinks y'all could be even deeper.
We are.
So talk to me about the defensive line as a whole, from end to end, and also the backups and the guys in second and third team. What do you see from that group?
Well, me and Pat, we're gonna step in for versus and fifth spot. We're gonna take that next step in our game, and my spots. I don't look at the younger guys as younger guys. I look at them as the next guys up, and I'm gonna help push them and help get them keys, even if they're better than me. I don't care. We need it. We need everything out them guys. Because they got to help us. One person can't take over.
Right.
The D-line need each other, man. Just showing the younger guys the way.
Is there like it's weird coming off a 13-0 season that maybe some of you guys still have chips on your shoulders because it's like, oh, they lost Fisk, they lost Verse, they lost Renardo Green, they lost the linebackers. They're going to take a step back. Is there a chip on your shoulder? Like, watch this. We're still Florida State.
Now we know when we play our team, we got to really beat them. We just can't. We can't really just get by. Win. You got to really beat them and show that we're a much better team, not just a better team.
Right.
All right, let's go to the speed round here. Joshua Farmer, who's the toughest offensive lineman on the team to get past?
Who I go against, probably Maurice, then I go with Darius Washington.
Okay. Who's got the worst visiting locker room you've ever been in? Just gross, nasty.
Boston College.
Okay. You get married tomorrow. Who would be the best man in your wedding?
Daryl Jackson.
All right. If you fought in the
UFC. And Jeremiah Brown.
Okay, all right. If you fought in the UFC, what's the walkout song you would have?
Set It Off by Lil Boosie.
Okay. And last thing, can you give us an Odell Higgins impression?
Scream! Scream, man! Scream!
All right, so we're with Patrick Payton. What has this been like for you? This whole experience of today.
It's been a great experience because knowing I done watched it for 3 years now.
Is it something that you guys want? Is it a goal? Man, maybe one day I could be up there. I
Yeah.
mean, I know it's not you're not in a Super Bowl or anything, but is it something you envision yourself doing?
Definitely cool because just watching the past guys who did it like Jordan Travis, Jermaine, Jared Verse,
right,
D-Lo, and guys like Fabo. Just watching the guys go, we got picked to go represent our team, as probably one of the best players on the team and stuff like that. I'm looking to none of that stuff like that. Just knowing it's good to be able to represent my guys back home.
How hard was your true freshman year?
Oh my God.
You didn't play. You were undersized at the time, I'm sure. You got pushed around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You probably felt like a scout team dummy at times. What was that like? Was that 2021?
2021.
Yeah.
I felt like I tell everybody, even the young guys who come in, that's guys who come in and all out. That was probably the worst year of my life, ever. Just going through the stuff I went through. It was small, like you said, it was small and not really knowing everything. I came late too, came in the summer. Didn't come in the spring to get a head start or nothing. I just came in, got through right into the fire. And I feel but that's what made me who I am now. I went through the tough times to see these times.
Did you question, though, at times? I assume all of you guys, except for the undeniable superstars, and there are very few that come in and kind of dominate early. Mm-hmm. Do you question, man, do I belong? Am I going to make it here? Is this for me? Am I going to be not only just a star? Am I going to be able to start here? Am I going to be able to play here?
One thing I never questioned was me being able to make a play, being able to play football.
Yeah.
That I always been doing that since I was 4. The one thing I always questioned was the strength and the size. That was one of my biggest doubts of myself coming when I first got it. Just seeing other guys, how big they were, strong they were. That was really the biggest thing, just the strength. I knew I was going to be a ball player at the end of the day, but just how big and strong can I get?
But I assume that first year you get tired of ending up on your back and being pushed around a lot.
Yeah.
Is that the motivation? To be great, sure, but the motivation, man, I'm tired of dealing with this. I want to start impacting people.
Yeah, that was definitely a big part about it, but that's just life. Life's gonna knock you down 1,000 times. Just how many more times you can get back up. That's what I always knew about football. So when I knew when it was my time to knock somebody down, I was gonna do it at a high level.
It's kind of cool too because people made a lot about Jermaine being a JUCO guy that was kind of, he went to Georgia, was a second stringer. Jared Verse obviously came from Albany. You've been at Florida State the whole time, but it hadn't been a walk in the park for you. You're kind of a good example for other guys that struggle at the beginning to, if they stick with it, they can turn into this, right? Do you feel like you're that for young guys on the roster right now? Definitely,
because I didn't play at all my freshman year. These guys who played with us these last 2 years, they actually got game experience. Even if it was late in the game, they got in the game. They played their 4 little red shirt games. When I first got here, it was none of that. I played probably 12 snaps my whole freshman year. But that was definitely one of the biggest things about that.
Have you played the new NCAA football game yet?
Definitely.
Do you play as yourself?
Nah, I play as a team, but I don't want to play as myself.
You play as Florida State?
Yeah.
So who are you, 1D? Who are you when you're on defense? Who do you
I like to control the linebackers,
Yeah, okay.
All right. Linebacker type of guy.
What's your overall on there?
90.
It's 90?
Yeah.
Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, that's absolutely fair.
And also, I watched my son play it the other day, and number 13 scored 3 touchdowns, but it wasn't Jalen Lucas. It was some kid named Darnell Green. So I don't know if he got the money. Did you get money from EA Sports? Have they already sent that to you? Like, how does that work?
I think they did send it to me, and they sent to the code to get the game. I think I did.
Oh, okay. All right. But how do you like what they made you? How cool is it to see you in a video game?
Was the best thing about it I love about my players, the on the field, how I look on the field. They got exactly how I dress, exactly how I look with the 2 sleeves and the dreads hanging out the back. That's the best thing I really liked about it.
And my last question is, how good, I talked to Josh Farmer about this, you guys lost a lot from that defensive front, some big names. But Coach Norvell has talked about you guys might even be deeper this year up on the defensive line. Mm-hmm. How good can this defensive front be? How dominating can it be? And therefore, how good can this defense be in 2024, even with the loss of a couple really, really good players?
It's really going to come down to if we want it or not. If you want it, you're going to go get it. Right? I feel like we got straight hungry guys, especially with the front four that we got right now. Even the guys behind the front four, but the front four, whole bunch of hungry guys, and me. Like, I know what I have to do this year. Josh know what he has to do this year. Daryl hungry. He ain't playing 2 years. People questioning them and seeing this. And I know he hungry. Then Marvin Jones, he still got to prove to the world who he is. That's what's going to be the biggest thing about this year, because it's just going to be a whole bunch of hungry guys.
Yeah, a lot of chips on your shoulders, even from a team that's coming off a 13-0 season.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a healthy place to be. Mm-hmm. Aslan's got 5 quick questions for you.
Okay.
Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Number 1 question, who's the toughest offensive lineman to get past?
On our team right now?
Yeah.
I'd say, it'd be crazy. I'd say Darius right now.
Okay. Worst visiting locker room you've ever been in?
What's that team? Clemson.
Josh said Boston College.
Yeah, Boston College too, but Clemson was a little small. I don't know. They spaced out.
If you got married tomorrow, who would be the best man at your wedding?
Shaheem Brown.
Shaheem, my man. I love Shaheem. If you fought in the UFC, what would your walkout song be?
Walkout song? Know Like I Know by NBA Youngboy.
Okay. And last question, can you give us an Odell Higgins impersonation? Or Coach Papuchas, whichever one's easier for you.
Odell probably was. Oh, easy. Josh, you have to screen, son. That's what you hear from every day.
That was Josh's impression.
Yeah, well, you have to screen, son. That's his favorite line, yeah.
Patrick Payton joining us on Wake Up Warchant. Thanks so much, man. Best of luck.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, man. So, Darius, you've been in college for a while now. I want to go back to, you're a true freshman in 2019, and you're forced to play. As a guy that's now a grizzled vet who's played in 50 games in college, what advice would you give that kid that's running onto a college football field for the first time?
One, I'll say I was not forced to play at all. I wanted to play. Once I came in, my mindset was to play. Like
even your first year.
First year, I wanted to play. I was so hungry to play. Like I've always wanted to be on that field. So it was no forcing. When they asked me to be out there, let me have it. I want that starter position.
Looking back, were you ready for it? Like physically, maybe even. I mean, mentally you might have been, but physically, that's such a big ask for a kid right out of high school.
I can say, technical-wise, I really wasn't ready for it. Like just the techniques and just everything that really came to just being a football player. I wasn't ready for it, but just I'll say, and also my physical, like my body and stuff, probably wasn't fully developed to be ready for offensive lineman. But that's the stuff I asked for. That's what I wanted. So it's like I really can't look back at it and just say like, dang, I wish I would have never played. Dang, I wish I never did this, because that's what I wanted. I asked for that. I wanted everything that came with what came with playing early.
And when you met, so after that year, Coach Norvell comes in. I know we're talking about, Lord, 4 or 5 years now later. Can you remember your first impression of him? Like what you thought of him, like that first team meeting? What you thought of the guy, the gray-haired guy that just walked into the room?
This dude is crazy.
Right?
Yeah, like this is a crazy dude.
Did you think it was made up? Like there's no way he's really like this. He's doing this for our benefit, but we're going to see the real guy is a lot different than this. Did you think that at the time? Like there's no way he's this energetic.
Well, no, I kind of just, you can tell by the way he was. You can tell he was a very energetic guy, but just the consistency of him just having that every single day, that's something that it was very intriguing to me, just because I've never seen somebody that's been like so consistent, like with their daily routine, their daily lives. So watching him just be so consistent and every day come with that same energy and come with that same effort every day. Just show and prove to us, like, hey, this guy is really what he means is he says, like, what he's going to do, what he wants us to do is he's not telling us just because he thinks it sounds good or it looks good. Like, that was
the word I was going to use is genuine. Did you wonder if he was genuine? And how soon did you realize, yeah, man, this is genuine. This is who he is?
Like, even when we had our one-on-one meetings before even, like, this being a team, like, you can tell he was a real genuine person. He asked us what we wanted out of our careers, out of our lives, and he's literally been holding us to that same standard from the time I told him my freshman year to the time now. He's literally held me to that same standard. Like, it's literally like a real genuine, thoughtful person. Like, out of anything, like, he's a real great person before anything. So that's why he has the respect that he has, and that's why he's getting all the success. He's getting all the success. We're getting all the everything that's coming with it, just because of how genuine, how great of a person he is, and how hard he tries to push and make everybody better around him.
And he's consistent. That consistency of message is always there. I assume you'd say the same thing about Coach Atkins?
It's the whole coaching staff.
Yeah.
It's the whole coaching
staff.
And
it's like almost the same coaching staff since they've gotten there.
It is the same coaching staff. Since Coach Norvell got there, it's literally been the same coaching staff.
Except Coach Dillingham, right? I think he's the only one that left.
It's probably been like one or two people that haven't been there. But other than that, it's literally been consistent throughout the whole entire time. Like, everything has been consistent. It's been consistent. Coaching staff consistent, trainers, like it's been a very consistent. Yeah. So they just, like, because once we say family, once you say that you're buying in, once you say you're gonna be here, like, you really mean it. Like, it's not just, we're not bringing anybody that just wants to be here, or just somebody that's gonna be here just for a little bit, or just bringing a parasite to the program. Like, we bring everybody that wants to be here, that wants to love and be a part of our family, because when we say family, we really mean family. And once we say you're part of our family, you're a part of our family.
Do you feel, it's a weird question because I know you're a player and you're an All-American candidate and all that, but do you feel, because you've been here so long, like you're a pseudo part of the coaching staff? Like, I mean, I know Coach Atkins wouldn't probably say, hey, Darius, Coach Washington or anything, but do you feel like you can really help the younger guys, not just offensive linemen? Here's the question I wanted to ask. You joined a program that was not in great shape. And then you stayed with Coach Norvell, even through some downtimes, even through a coaching change. The kids that are coming into the Florida State program now, they're not going into the same program that you went into. So do you feel like you have to, like, give them the standard of how we got here? This is what Florida State football is about. Nothing is given to you. Just because you're joining a top 10 program doesn't mean it'll stay that way if you don't have the right attitude?
I play all the time, like, all the time we have to let them know where we came from and how we got there. But it's like, now we can't keep talking about where we came from, how we got there. We have to talk about,
you're here now, right?
Like we're here. Like, last year, like, we did it. So we just had to take what we did last year and just apply that to each and every year, and just apply more and do more. Like, that's all they ask for us, is more each and every year. So we just have to give more and show them more and just preach to them more. Like, just because we got here doesn't mean that it's easy to get here. Like, it's a lot of work that comes with this, and not even just talk about where we came from, all the bad seasons and stuff. Last year was a lot of work too. Like, it was we had to put some work in to really get what we wanted, like, personal and team. Like, we really had to put some work in, and, like, each and every year is that same consistent grind, and even harder, just because now it's like it's a big target on our backs. Like, a lot of people are aiming for us, so it's like it's literally like we have to consistently work hard every day and consistently mean what we say and consistently come in the building and give our all, not just because of what we want to achieve, but just because of your teammate, your brother, your coaches, knowing that a lot of people rely on you and just rely on just the stuff that you say that you want.
Did you ever play another position growing up?
I played running back, linebacker, kicker.
Till when? Till how old?
Till about 12.
And then you got what? Then you joined the line. Then you went to the line of scrimmage.
Then I got big. Well, no, then I got. So I played defense in my first 2 years of high school, actually.
Oh, okay.
And then I made the switch because that's when I started getting adding some weight on.
So you didn't play offensive line until your junior year of high school?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's such a unique position in that you never get to touch the ball. Anytime somebody does well,
I mean, if you play center, you get to touch the ball.
Do what?
If you play center, you get to touch the ball.
Maurice gets to touch it every play. He touches it more than anybody. But like, you don't ever get to score. If your team does well, you're not the one that they necessarily write about or talk about that much. It's such a selfless position. And I've watched you in practice over the years. I've heard you talk. You are so about the team and only about the team. Is that you just because you almost have to be like that as an offensive lineman? You can't be about yourself as an offensive lineman because all your accomplishments are team accomplishments. Does that make sense? Like, where did your mindset of always wanting to talk about the team and be the team come from?
Growing up, I've always been just a team player. I've always loved my teammates. I always loved just being the best for my teammates and just trying to be the best for the team in general to put us in the best, put my team in the best position to have success.
Right.
You know, so that's something I've always grew up on. But it's just playing offensive line, it develops that even more just because, like, you have to be selfless. You have to be unselfish. Like, you can't really think about the stuff, self-accolades and all that stuff just because all that stuff comes if we're doing good. So, like, and everybody's careers in our hands. Like, we hold the careers of everybody's hands pretty much. So it's like you have to have that type of mindset, or if you come with a selfish mindset, like, literally you're not caring about what the next person next to you have. And it's 5 of us on the field at one time too. It's different than any position. Like, you can have multiple receivers and stuff like that on the field, multiple defense.
Sure,
but it's like if one
working
person
as one,
but like it's 5 as one on as an offensive line. So, like, literally you have to put your selfish ways aside, put your own thoughts aside, your own achievements, your own, like, everything that you want for yourself. You have to put that aside, because it's literally you have to take care of what is at hand. That's literally being a group.
Okay, all right.
We gotta go. We gotta get 30 seconds though on the clock, real quick. Rapid fire questions. 5 questions. Darius Washington, number 1. Who's got the strongest bull rush on the team?
Strongest bull rush? Pat Payton.
Anybody funnier than Robert Scott on the team?
I like Rob.
Could John Papucha swim past Alex Atkins?
Yes.
What teammate would be the best to go into business with after football?
Best person to go in business with. What type of business are we talking?
We're the last one. Do you have the biggest shoe on the team? Biggest shoe size of everybody on the football team?
One of them, yes.
Okay.
Size 16.
Darius Washington, everybody. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachia Parkway in Tallahassee, Florida. CPTallybar.com, the website. Lunch specials daily, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. for only $8.99. Comes with a side dish of your choice as well. Wednesdays, cheesesteak sandwich, chicken or steak. Cheesesteak is like a style. So, yeah, you can have a chicken cheesesteak. It's possible. They'll do it for you at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill for only $8.99. You get a side dish of your choice as well. And don't forget Thursday, bingo night. Win money, cash money. Several games, so there's plenty of cash money up for grabs. So get your cash all rounded up, buy cards, and then go play bingo. Make some friends, drink some cold beverages, eat some delicious food at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. Coming up next, let's talk to some of the other players that were at ACC kickoff that might not be Florida State related, but tangentially could affect the outcomes of Florida State's future. But first. All right, we're here. ACC kickoff. We told you, everybody. We're here. We got Haynes King, the starting quarterback for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, joining us here. First off, just want to get right to it, Haynes. December 22nd, 2018, was that the best day of your life?
I wouldn't necessarily say it was the best, but it was pretty good.
I mean, how many years had it been since Longview High School had won a state championship?
81 years.
81 years. Your junior season, you throw for 423 yards, 2 touchdowns. You run for 65 yards and a score. 35-34 win over Westbrook. Your father's the head football coach there as well. What was that moment like? What was that season like? How much of that do you still think and keep in your heart?
I keep a lot of it in my mind and in my heart because, you know, we played at a high level that whole year. And the reasons for success have not changed. Like, it doesn't matter what year you pull up in the game of football. You know, it could be the first Super Bowl, it could be the last one. The reasons for the success has not changed, and when you have a successful season, I'd like to keep that in my arsenal. What happened, what went down, so you can always revert back to what happened and how you do things.
If you go like to the Dairy Queen in Longview, like does everybody just pay for whatever you shop at Longview? Is every meal free now and on the house?
I wouldn't necessarily say that they pay for it, but they definitely know who I am.
What was more difficult, the actual game-winning touchdown drive, or salting the clock away and getting a first down to ice it, or getting the first down, or rather the touchdown against Miami after they didn't kneel on the ball and gave you the ball back? Which drive was the hardest of those 3 drives?
Ooh.
Can you still believe that Miami didn't take a knee?
No, I can't believe that.
That's great.
I can't at all.
Could you imagine if your dad told you to like run a play, or even if Brent Key or Coach Faulkner looked at you, could you look back at them and be like, absolutely not, man. I'm going to kneel on the ball right now. Could you overrule that?
I don't necessarily know if I can overrule it, but I'm for sure telling that back, keep 2 hands on it, I don't care. You know, and I might follow him in the hole just in case. But that's all I would do right there. Just make sure he keeps 2 hands on that football, don't turn it over.
All right, we'll talk about the present here in a little bit, but funny thing, we're a Florida State website. Your former head football coach, Jimbo Fisher, is not well liked in some circles in Florida State. I love the dude. I'm crazy. I feel like you probably were almost put on this earth to play quarterback for that guy at that university. I know things didn't kind of go your way, but what was a relationship like that you had with Coach Fisher? And I guess, you know, how happy are you now where you're at and things are working out? And I guess how surprised were you that things didn't work out for him over in College Station?
I love the dude. I never had a problem with him. We had a great relationship. I mean, we told each other this past year, you know, Merry Christmas, stuff like that. Every now and then I still talk to his son, and we still have a relationship as well with Ethan. But other than that, like, I have nothing that I regret. I learned a lot from him about the game of football and the X's and O's factor and all that. I definitely wouldn't change anything that happened because it's led me here. And I love the people that surrounded me as I've been at Georgia Tech and who I've surrounded myself with.
The frustration of it for you personally not working out there, and a lot of that was just your health. It wasn't as though you weren't productive, but how much of that shook you, and did it shake you at all? And how did you either regain your confidence or how did you maintain your confidence to then make the jump to Georgia Tech?
I feel like it didn't shake me too much. It did a little bit because you want things to work out the way that you have it in your head. But, you know, stuff happens for a reason. And that's what led me here, and that's what led me to these connections that I have at Georgia Tech with Coach Key and Coach Faulkner. I already had the connection with Coach Winkie. And just to be around those guys and what they want to do and what they want to accomplish and the way they do things and the way they're wired, it's just outstanding, and I'm just thankful to be around them.
I know Coach is never going to guarantee a kid playing time when it comes to the portal, but what was it like when you entered the portal? The amount of interest you got, was it surprising or not? And then were you able to look at the depth chart and kind of connect the dots yourself and think, oh, listen, if they believe in me and they're going to offer me and I go to Georgia Tech and I'm who I am, I'm going to end up winning this job?
I always had the confidence in myself that, you know, I'm a Power 5 starter. I told Winkie, I was like, look, I just want an opportunity to play. I had to come in here and compete. Nothing was given to me. You know, they were probably already leaning to Zach Pyron anyways, but I ended up coming in here, competing and playing my butt off and ended up earning the starting spot. And I'm thankful for whatever happened, and like I said, I just wanted an opportunity to play.
So, I mean, what do they tell you? I mean, what is that kind of conversation like? Is it a, hey, we're just going to give you an opportunity? Do they go kind of more in depth of, we know who you are, if you are who we think you are, you're going to win this job? How did that kind of work out between knowing what they were telling you was the truth and then it all happening out?
He straight up said, I have an opportunity to play here. I'm going to have to compete. It's not going to be anything easy. Whoever wins the job, you're still going to be competing each and every day. Like, we don't take that stuff lightly there at Georgia Tech. Like, nothing's given, nothing's always, like, guaranteed. You're going to have to compete for a spot. And we breed competition, and competition it doesn't allow you to become complacent, and we never want to be complacent over there at Georgia Tech.
Man, it's really crazy how explosive this offense was. I think there's 8 games where you had 3 or more touchdowns. Your leading rusher returns. I think all your kind of wide receivers return. Just how legitimate is Georgia Tech football, and especially this offense?
We have a chance to be really good. Now it's up to us to go out there and show what we've been working on and what we've been trying to improve on this offseason. It's up to us. We're a player-led team, and what our standard is and how we're going to uphold to that standard.
It's a week 0 game. It's a conference game. It's Florida State. How much, kind of like, I don't know, preparation might not be the right word, but how much of your focus has been able to be on Florida State, whether it's spring football, off-season workouts, and your impressions of them right now?
Right now, we're working on getting better ourselves, and main focus is ourselves. And then I'm sure here coming up after fall camp, it's going to be just straight Florida State. Right now, our focus is getting better as a team and getting closer as a team and holding each other accountable and taking out all the wrinkles that we can as a team and as a team, player-led team.
How's the defense look? That seemed to be the part of the team that maybe could have the most improvement to help this team kind of move forward. And they brought in a new defensive coordinator and Coach Santucci, who I think was in College Station when you were there. How's the defense look? Do you think that will be an improved part of this Georgia Tech program?
Oh, they're looking phenomenal. Like you said, I already knew Coach Santucci. I know how he coaches. I know what he wants to look for, and the way he does it, and the style that he does it as, it's just phenomenal. The defense comes out great energy every time, ready to compete. And we've had some battles during the spring, even during the summer with 7-on-7, and we love to compete, and neither one wants to lose. You know kind of how that thing goes. But I feel like it's a great addition to this program. And Coach Key made a point where when he was hiring, like he made sure that they fit the culture, not just as a team, but fits in with the players that we have defensively as well. And he does not play with the culture, and he cares a lot about what goes on in the locker room and within the coaching staff.
You mentioned Coach Winkie. He's kind of popular back in Florida State and Tallahassee still. It's good to see him hanging on around Georgia Tech, and you obviously have grown under his tutelage. What kind of guy is he? What kind of coach is he? What do you like so much about Coach Chris Winkie?
He's an amazing guy. He doesn't BS with you at all. He keeps it straightforward. He's the one that gave me this opportunity. If he didn't, I'd be somewhere else, obviously. So I love the fact that he believes in me, and he believes what I can do and what I can do for this football team.
We're going to go no huddle up tempo like we're trailing in the state championship game. We got to get a touchdown. Here we go. 5 questions. True or false, Haynes? Matthew McConaughey and Forrest Whitaker are both Longview High Lobos.
True.
False.
Forrest. Yeah.
He was born in Longview.
Yeah, he was born in Longview.
Yeah. All right.
He did not go to Longview.
Number 2, your offensive coordinator's name is Buster Faulkner. What's his given first name?
It's Buster.
It's Edward Harrison Faulkner.
No way.
Now you know. Call him Edward next time. See what happens. Where is Chris Winkie from?
Minnesota.
Bam. Got it right. Coach Key has got 1 child. Do you know his child's name?
Harper.
Boom. Got it. In 2020, high school recruiting had Chubba Purdy and Jeff Sims ranked ahead of you. Is that true or false?
Say it again.
In 2020,
Jeff Sims and who?
Chubba Purdy were both ranked ahead of you as a high school football player. Is that true or false?
I would say false.
It's true, man. They both were ranked ahead of you. Purdy was 8th, Sims was 11th, you were 13th. You're number 1 in our books, though.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
so much, Haynes King. Best of luck this upcoming season, man. ACC Kickoff 2024. We got a guy from Dallas. We're not from Dallas. You're from Miami, but he played for SMU now, part of the ACC. Elijah Roberts joining us here on the show. Elijah, how are you, man?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, man. Just clean, simple Navy blazer. I like it. How much thought went into the outfit today?
Not a lot. It was pretty much black, blue, or gray. I just kind of thought blue was nice.
I got you, man. It works well, man. You can never go wrong navy blue.
Yes,
all right, let's go in the time machine. Let's go back to 2022.
Okay.
You're at Miami. You guys finished 5-7. You played 9 snaps in the entire month of November. Being just a confident kid, knowing who you are, like, where were you? Can you take us back to how you're feeling at that moment?
I didn't even know it was that low. 9 snaps the whole month. Oh my gosh. Yeah, man, that time was definitely rough for me. It was definitely like a lot of having to like lean back on my family members, call family, and just because to the outside world it's like, oh, it might not be that serious, but to me it was like, man, like I thought I was, I thought I was ready. I thought I put enough work in to play. I thought I was ready for a bigger role on the team, but it just wasn't. It wasn't in line with what coaches had ready for me, and it just was what it was. So I just knew around that time, if I wanted to play, I couldn't be there. Like if I wanted to be the role I wanted, which is a guy who could be counted on, a guy who could be a leader on the team, I know that I just had to go, which is no hard feelings. It was just how it just had to be.
I mean, you're from Miami. Mm-hmm. You went to Columbus High School. You get to play for the U. I imagine this is like childhood dream kind of stuff. I mean, when that doesn't work out, is it easy to flush it, or was it a tough thing to kind of reconcile and kind of look in the mirror and see what to do next?
It was definitely hard, man, because like I did not want to leave at all. Like after my second year, I was being told to leave, and it was just like, nah, man. Like I wanted to do this. Like I wanted to make sure, I just wanted to play at Miami. Being able to have that U on the side of my helmet was like, it meant the world to me. Being from Miami, being from down there. So that last year was just super rough for me, because now I'm replaying in my head all the what ifs. What if I would have left this year? What if I would have, so that year was just hard to kind of like stay like in one mind. I was just like all over the place. But I'm thankful that things worked out the way they did, because waiting that extra year, coming here, it turned out for the better.
So let's talk about that then. I mean, there's hundreds of kids that are 4-star recruits and it doesn't work out where they're at, so they go in the portal. Some kids get a little bit more interested than others. When you put your name in the portal, what was your expectation and kind of how did things play out once you put your name in there and before you end up deciding on SMU?
So like you said, like being a 4-star recruit, I'm assuming, going to the portal, I'll kind of have some coaches, but it's not the same, man. Like being at a college for 3 years and not really playing, like I didn't really have significant snaps. I didn't really have the numbers, the production. So you'd be surprised. Like I didn't really have much teams like chomping at the bit trying to bring me in. It was a lot of like AAC schools. There was a lot of Group of 5 schools. There was a lot of those. I got a couple Power 5 at the time, schools that was contacting me. But it was just more of like, for me, it was just more of like I wanted to play. Like it doesn't matter if it was at SMU, it doesn't matter if it was at a D2 or JUCO. I just really just wanted to play, to be on the field.
So what do they tell you? Because I know no coach is ever going to say that they promise you guys playing time or anything, but it's an opportunity, I guess. Like, what did you want to hear? What did Coach Rhett Lashley and that staff tell you that made you believe in their vision and that SMU could be a place where you reinvented yourself?
Yeah, I mean, the main questions that I would ask coaches was just, how do you guys see me? Like, where do you guys view me, like, on the depth chart as a player? Okay, and then from there, where do you guys view me, like can I step up and be a potential leader? Like, is that a role that you guys need on the defensive side of the ball? And at the time, it was something that they needed. They needed a leader on the D-line, on the defense, like an older guy. And I was older at the time, in age, but I wasn't really older on experience, on the field, because I wasn't really playing that much. But that was really just the main thing. Like, do I have a legitimate chance to be on the field? Like, anything else was just like second. I just really wanted to have a for sure chance, a real opportunity to compete for a spot to play.
And how do they answer that? That makes you believe that they're telling you the truth? Because I'm sure coach.
No, for sure.
Like, how does that go?
Yeah, for sure. For them it was just more of like they literally just like sat down and showed me, like, listen, man, like this is our position right now. Like this is what we have. This guy's leaving. This guy's staying. But like we only have one, maybe two guys at the position who are actually playing. And then it was just more of okay, and then how do you guys run your rotations in camp? How do you guys run your rotations in the game? They run like a 2-deep, maybe 3-deep rotation, and I know if I could crack that rotation, then I could be able to crack the starting position.
How much better off are you as a young man, knowing what you want, knowing how to ask it when you're 20 as opposed to when you're 17 as a high school? Yeah,
for sure. It's definitely different. Like I even talked to my parents about this. Like the process from being in the portal or going on visits and stuff as a transfer player than as a high school player is completely different. As a high school player, like you're easily wowed by the facilities, by the state, by the city, by like everything wows you. But when you're in the portal, it's like or at least for me, it was just like I really don't care about, like, I didn't even want to take pictures on most of my visits. I just wanted to sit down in the coach's office, talk about this, talk about that, like, and that was pretty much it.
All right, so again, 2022, you only get to play 9 snaps in the whole month of November. Last year, you go to SMU. First game out the gates, I think you had 8 pressures. You end up having 10 sacks, second in the American, 17th in the entire nation. You can brag on yourself, Elijah. It's fine. It couldn't have just been all scheme. I mean, what changed?
It was definitely a little bit of scheme, definitely that, but just being able, because
did they free you up to?
Yeah, like that was like really it. It was just more of like my D-line coach, man, Calvin Thibodeau. I've talked about him a lot today. He was really just so like, he's a real ball coach. And he's a real guy. Like he just told me, listen, just go ball. Like I've seen your film. Like I've seen how you move in practice. I see how you can play. Like just go play. And they moved me from 5 technique to 3 technique to 1 technique, like to 9 technique. So I do so many different things for them and for the team that it allows me to be free. It allows me to have mismatches all over the line, and that was probably like the biggest reason.
Was there a moment where you kind of had to pinch yourself? Because I know you had confidence in yourself that you were capable of doing all this, but to prove it to the whole country, I mean, I know you're not going to just take a victory lap on it, but like how fulfilling was it to kind of be like, damn, man, like I knew I had this in me. Thank God I'm able to show it, you know?
No, man, it was like so relieving. Just like, I probably say even after that first game, like it wasn't my best game, you know, it was my first game there and stuff. But it just felt relief to get as many snaps as I did, to get as many, like to get in the flow of a game, because like, you know, like the game, it's difficult. It's hard to just get in there, make a play early, or to make plays throughout the whole game. So just being able to feel like the whole course of a game, 4 quarters, like first quarter here, like to play those things in my head, and it was just like, it felt great. And then I could feel myself week in and week out gaining more confidence on the field and gaining more knowledge and being able to perform better.
You know, you're not going to sneak up on anybody. This team's not going to sneak up on anybody. How confident are you that you guys are going to be able to rise to that challenge? How confident are you that you're going to still be able to be a productive edge rusher that disrupts game plans?
For sure. I feel like having that, like you said, like everyone kind of knows, okay, like SMU isn't just a slouch team. So I feel like having that is just like, it's better for us, because now it puts more pressure on us to not beat ourselves, to perform better, to put even extra preparation into that week, because we know that teams are going to give us their best shot. So we have to give them ours.
I mean, do you think that you guys are capable of doing what you did last year in the ACC this time around?
I feel like as long as we're week in and week out, like I said earlier, just not beating ourselves and just not, you know, not like doing things to hurt SMU, no telling what we can do, for sure.
You're a young kid, man. We all go through challenges. Being able to open up about what you're feeling, what you went through, you know, is that something that you want to share to other players? Is it important for guys to find moments in their life to realize that they can look themselves in the mirror and have doubts, and then they can work through it and it doesn't have to consume them? Yeah,
for sure. Like, I would definitely say it's okay. Like, it's okay to go through those things. It's okay to, you know, like, talk to yourself. But one thing I would say that I wish, like, I could go back on is just not getting so down on myself. Like, that confidence is like self-confidence. It plays such a big role in a student athlete. Like, if you don't have that confidence in yourself, like, you're never going to be as good as you want to be, because you're always doubting yourself. And whether that is coming from just not playing, whether that's coming from a coach directly, whether that's just coming from, you know, just don't like doubt yourself too much. Don't talk negative to yourself as much. There's always, like, you can always be better, and there is always better. So try to find that better.
Easy to say now, but I'm sure, like, you know, a few years ago,
for sure.
Tough to go through. Your defensive coordinator, Coach Simons, was it about him that's kind of drawing a lot of attention? He's a rising star in the profession, man. You know, you've had some good coaches elsewhere. What's about him that you think makes him different? Man,
Coach Simons, he's a great dude. He's a personable dude. He's a player's coach. Like, he's definitely a player's coach. He knows how to connect with his players. He's also one of the younger strength coordinators I've had. So. That's probably why, you know, he gets in there, he plays the same music that we listen to. So he's just a great man. So it's just like having him as a coach, and then obviously his schemes and the way he calls games are just so great. Like, he's one of the first coaches who I've had that sits in the box all game. So having him and Coach Thibodeau to just, you know, they'll literally come up to me like during halftime, hey man, how do you think we should do this on third downs? Like you should do this. Like, so just having him and Coach Tibbs, it's been great.
All right, how excited are you to play Florida State?
Oh man, I'm excited to play everyone, but Florida State for sure is gonna be bring back some old memories for sure.
Is the dream, does the story of Elijah Roberts, does it end in Charlotte playing Miami for the ACC championship?
Oh, that would be great. I haven't even thought about that, but that would be a fairy tale ending right there, as they say, for sure.
Hey, let's have some fun on the way out here. We're going to ask you 5 rapid-fire questions here, Elijah. You ready? Let's go in the pocket here. First question, what game were you the highest graded in, according to PFF last year?
Oh, gosh. Off the top of my head, I'll probably have to say Rice.
Tulane.
Oh, my gosh, I was wrong.
You graded out at 95.3, you had 9 pressures.
Okay.
True or false, the owners of the Indianapolis Colts and the Kansas City Chiefs both attended SMU?
True.
That is right. Jim Irsay and Clark Hunt, they both went to SMU. Can you name the SMU mascot?
Oh, my gosh.
It's a black Shetland pony.
I know exactly. I'm going to get so much flack for this.
Peruna. I think Peruna is what it's called.
Peruna. Oh, man.
Let's go back to your roots in Miami. What legendary NFL coach had a son named Mike that attended Columbus back in the day? Legendary NFL coach. Big family name. Everyone knows him down in Miami.
His son was named Mike?
His son was Mike, and he played at Columbus back in the day. Like before your time, before my time.
I feel like I should know this. Shula?
Boom.
Mike
Boom.
Shula.
There we go. All right.
Is someone to Columbus?
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Shula.
That's crazy.
You know, A-Rod
That's my first time hearing this.
A-Rod went there for freshman year before he went to Westminster.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man, Columbus.
That's my first time hearing that. That's crazy.
All right, last question. Do you know the name of the SMU-UNF rivalry?
The SMU-UNF rivalry?
Yeah.
Is it a team or is it?
UNT. Oh, UNT
rivalry.
My fault. That's my fault. I messed it up.
Okay.
We'll reset the clock.
I was about to say
North
UNT.
Texas.
Yeah.
North Texas.
That was good, man.
SMU, you guys have there's a name for the rivalry game. You know what it is?
No.
It's the Safeway Bowl.
Safeway Bowl, wow.
I never heard of it until yesterday when I did some research.
That's my first time hearing that, too.
Apparently when you guys play Rice, it's called the Mayor's Cup.
Yeah, it is.
So I should
Rice is
that,
and I think TCU is like the Iron Skillet or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So it's all weird.
Fantastic. Elijah, best of luck to you this upcoming season, man.
I appreciate you so much for having me, man. Thank you so much.
All right, that's a wrap. 5 interviews. Solid, right? It'd be great if we could just do interviews all the time instead of just yapping, but it's always hard to get these things lined up, so we'll see maybe this season. Maybe we'll be able to get like an interview once a week with like a player off, away from the practice field. Maybe we can like zoom them in for 10 minutes or so. Doubt it, but we can try, and we will try. Again, 8:30, check out Twitter. You'll probably see clips of guys running into practice in their shorts. Hot. Practice starts at 9:05. They're going to start stretching. So I'm going to guess that there probably will be practice footage up on warchant.com around 9:48 a.m. So go to warchant.com. Practice footage at 9:48-ish. Then we'll get interviews with Mike Norvell and players afterwards. Corey and Jeff will have a wrap summing everything up from the day that was. Corey's going to have observations, I would assume. Ben Spicer's going to be out there. He's going to film some practice footage, so he'll probably get some newcomer stuff. So if you want to see all the new guys that weren't here during spring, he'll have you covered. Matt Lacer's going to be out there. Gene Williams is going to be out there taking photos, doing the thing. So we've got you covered like nobody else does. We all know you love Florida State. You're going to go listen to somebody else's podcast now that covers Florida State, which just disgusts me, but whatever. Be a warchant.com subscriber. It's only $1. 2 months. Do it now. FSU wants a promo code. Live show tonight, 7 o'clock, Corey and myself. Then we'll do a show for Friday. That will be the Renegade Express mailbag, as well as generating discussions sparked by Cummins. Can't wait. Off-season's over. Need really good questions out of you folks. We truly need to spark and generate discussion. So don't let me down. For Corey and all those players that joined us, we appreciate them and their time, and your time as always. Check out warchant.com throughout the day. First day of practice, it starts. 25 of these, and then the season starts. Can't wait. For Corey, I'm Aslan. Thanks for listening to Wake Up Warchant, presented by Vitamin Energy.